Hey guys, we're going to do something that I honestly didn't think I was actually going to get around to doing this year. Last year I did a few of these as the lead up to the end of the year's top 10 lists, but I didn't do it, at the end of March like I thought I would. But we're going to do it this time around, so kind of almost the halfway mark of 2018. I'm going to talk about my current top 10 figures of the year thus far, so stuff that I've purchased, stuff that I own, and it's all stuff that I've reviewed, but it's all stuff that has come out this calendar year so far, so let's jump right into it. Number 10 is a Marvel Legends figure, and we've had tons and tons of Legends this year so far, and we're kind of, on the threshold of a ton more coming out. They've hit overseas, but they haven't hit here yet, so I don't have them. So the list is definitely going to change once I get my hand on some more. But number 10 is from the Deadpool wave, the Sasquatch wave, and that is Deathlok. So he's, one, a character that I really like, two, it's an awesome figure, three, it's Deathlok. I mean, come on, he's awesome in just about every way. That was, along with Cable and the 90s Deadpool, those were the characters that I really was looking forward to earlier in the year, and he delivered on basically every aspect. Sticking with Hasbro, but switching gears from Legends to Black Series, and there really haven't been a ton of Black Series for me personally so far this year. It's been pretty dry for the most part, which, I don't know, it's okay on the wallet. But we're going with the most recent acquisition for me personally. He did come out sort of on Force Friday, and that would be 4-LOM. If you saw my review not too long ago, I pretty much ranted and raved over him. He's a bounty hunter, he's a droid, he's got a bug head. I mean, it's all the things that are put together to make a cool action figure, and we know that Hasbro can absolutely nail droids. They can nail alien type things, and he's a fun character, one of my favorite kind of extraneous, non-important Star Wars characters. I've loved him since Tales of the Bounty Hunters way back when, so it was kind of a no-brainer. There's a good chance he's probably going to stick with the list for a while, but definitely one that if you're a Star Wars fan, you have to have him. Number 8, we're going to an entirely different property, entirely different company, and we're switching gears and going with Boss Fight Studios' recent Deadeye Duck figure from the Bucky O'Hare Wave 2 set. So this is a character that I have loved for years and years, from the original Vintage line, from the comic books, from the cartoon. He's always been my favorite Bucky O'Hare character, so there was a no-brainer that I had to get him, but then the figure basically exceeded every expectation that I had, and he is among the best figures that I've gotten this year so far, and I'd say he's probably the best Bucky figure we have gotten total out of everything Boss Fight has released for now. For number 7, we're going back to Black Series, and this is really the only other thing that's come out this year that I've even remotely wanted to put on the list, and it was kind of a no-brainer for this one too, and that would be the Dewback. I mean, if you recall my review, I again ranted and raved over it. It's almost perfect. There's really nothing wrong with it. It comes with a Stormtrooper, Sand Trooper, so you get a new trooper with it. It's a humongous space lizard, and they just went all out on the paint apps, on the deco, on the sculpting, on the articulation. I mean, it's got an articulated tongue. You really can't go wrong with it if you're a Star Wars fan, if you're a Black Series collector. It is absolutely the must-have figure / toy of the year so far. For number 6, we are going to go with something that is completely different from what we've talked about so far. And this is one that maybe doesn't really count because technically he came out at PowerCon last year, but in a very minuscule kind of sampling of early releases. But it was officially released in 2018, and that is going to be the Mythic Legions Coliseum Keltis figure. There was that, that week of Mythic Legions that I had on the channel where I got a handful of figures in and they basically just blew me away. Keltis is the top figure that I've gotten for sure. All the different options he has, the homage to Skeletor, the general fact that the figure on its own is absolutely amazing. Skeletor, notwithstanding, it's awesome in every way. So many options, so many accessories. It's a blue skeleton warrior with a ton of cool armor on it, and it's sculpted by Four Horsemen Studios. It pretty much was guaranteed to appear on my list. Number 5 is possibly a maybe controversial figure. I know a lot of people don't have the same fondness for this figure that I do. It just seems to get not as much praise as I think it should get, but that is going to go to the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Kid Goku figure. This is by far my favorite Figuarts in a very long time. I think it is perfectly sculpted to be anime manga accurate. He does not really scale that well with other figure arts because he's just too big, but if he was in scale, he'd be like this tall. So what do you want to do? I think he looks perfect. I think he comes with a ton of amazing accessories. I mean, he comes with 14 hands. How could you ask for more? He comes with 14 hands, the power pole, the extended power pole. He comes with Nimbus. He comes with a ton of faces. Everything about him is just top notch for me personally, and it delivered exactly what I wanted to see in a Kid Goku figure. Number 4, we are going to Masters of the Universe. So we've had a handful of figures that are actually new this year. Towards the beginning of the year, we had the new Classics figures, and then we had the new Filmation figures. And there is one figure that for me personally stands out above all the rest, and that is Filmation Hordak. He looks identical to the cartoon, and that's ultimately what I have wanted for a very long time, and it's taken 10 years of Classics to get to the point where we finally have that figure. And I think Super 7 did a fantastic job of delivering everything that I wanted him to be, and as far as I'm concerned, he is one of the top Filmation figures in the line for sure, and definitely my favorite of the year so far. Number 3, we are going to the one figure slash toy slash thing that is definitely not an action figure in the normal sense. It's not a humanoid figure, it's not incredibly articulated, but it is definitely one of the most talked about toys of the year, and it is definitely one that has gotten the most play value in my house out of this list, and that is the Mattel Jurassic World Super Colossal T-Rex. So, I mean, I don't really need to say too much more about this thing. It's a 3-foot long, humongous T-Rex, and it's just like the best dinosaur toy that I've ever come across. So for number 2, we're going back to Marvel Legends, and we're going back to that same wave with Deathlock. That's the Deadpool wave, it's the Sasquatch wave. We're talking about Cable. So this is the figure that up until now has been the favorite of mine for the whole year. It just delivers on everything I wanted. The sculpt, the paint, the size, the accessories, just everything about it exudes my classic Cable, everything I've always wanted out of a Cable figure, and it's just one of my favorite Marvel characters. So there's no way I couldn't pick him up, and of course he was going to appear on my list. And rounding this thing out, and it's one I wasn't really sure was actually going to top Cable, but until I got him in my hands, played around with them, paired them with their larger counterparts, and played around with the extra accessories that we got, it became very clear that the NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle baby set is so far my favorite toy of the year. It is ultimately everything that you could possibly want out of some, you know, kind of 6-inch quarter scale style baby turtles. They look absolutely perfect. They may not be the most articulated things in the world, but they're not supposed to be. That wasn't the point. They come with that extra Mikey hand. They have the extra pizza slices. They've got the corn chips. It's just the whole package is perfect. It shows exactly what NECA does and what they are really capable of doing when they are able to run wild with the TMNT license. So obviously I have been on a bit of a Ninja Turtle kick, and these things kind of pushed me over the edge to make them my number 1. So that's it for my mid-year, almost mid-year, top 10 list of toys, action figures for 2018. I think I've got a pretty diverse list going. We do have a ton, an absolute ton of stuff still to come this year. We've got tons of Marvel Legends. There's obviously more Black Series. We, of course, have got those NECA TMNT 1990 movie turtles, which they're probably going to be number 1 at the end of the year. And there's possibly more Motu stuff, maybe, might get released by the end of the year, hopefully. We'll see about that, but there's always more stuff to come, so definitely this list is going to change, but this is where I'm at now, and it's going to help me get my list going at the end of the year. So let me know what you guys think of my list, let me know what your list is, and I'll catch you later.